Hello, what's going on, FG fam? Today, our Oakland Athletics franchise rebuild actually begins. Made some roster changes, so we're going to get into those right away, as well as the opening series of the year against the Angels later on. This team is going to take some time to build, and we're going to need to be making more minor league trades and dumping players for prospects than anything else throughout this series. For the first season, it is imperative that we cut salary to make way for our $50 million upfront cost for the building of this beautiful stadium, Pandora Field. So this roster needs to get even less expensive than it already is. If you missed the reveal video, that gives you the complete storyline, and that video will be linked in the end screen. The first move will be dumping the lone all-star on the team a year ago, Paul Blackburn. Now he's 29, and as an all-star, he's already said he'd like to test free agency, because who wants to stay in Oakland? He had a career year last year with a 4.28 ERA, so we're going to take advantage of the notoriety and ship him off to the Marlins for shortstop prospect Khalil Watson, who was just 19 years old. Next up is Dalton Jeffries. He's a player that we just don't see in our long-term plans, and I would rather give other pitchers a chance in the majors than him. So he's going to be shipped to St. Louis for Gordon Graceffo to give us a building block in our relief pool. Third, it'll be closer Trevor May, who had his worst season since his first for the Twins way back in 2014. He's another guy not in our long-term plans, and I would rather trade him away than pay $7 million. So we took on starting pitching prospect Brennan Malone from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The only other moves that we made here were minor league trades that would open up roster spots by sending 3 players to the Phillies for starting pitcher Francisco Morales, 3 more players to the Rockies for starting pitcher Jaden Hill, 3 more to the Cubs for center fielding prospect Christian Franklin, and then the Phillies took 3 more off of our hands and gave us starter Hans Kraus. With those roster spots opening up, we would sign starting pitcher Curtis Ellis, who will be competing for a rotation spot for far cheaper than Paul Blackburn. Zach Britton was brought in to bolster the bullpen, and his $2.5 million salary, coupled with Jose Alvarez, who was a tough negotiator, by the way, but he did sign for 1 year, $3 million. Those are less combined than Trevor May was. We were short on catchers, though, so Jax Groshans and Benny Rausch would have to do. Wanting to keep Langeliers in AAA for the season, I also decided to bring in Gary Sanchez on a 2-year deal worth $7.5 million in total. Leo Farrell was a decent-looking shortstop that could help out with depth at the major league level, so he was signed, and he was just the right price. Then we wanted to make just a couple of more changes, but we needed some more roster space, so 3 more prospects were sent to the Mariners for reliever Bryce Miller. The Pirates came back for more, and they sent us reliever Bubba Chandler. What a goated name. And then the Angels gave us a jackpot, or at least we feel that way, with Kyron Paris and Deshaun Knowles for 3 players. Bear in mind, it isn't guaranteed that any of these players amount to anything. Finally, it was again the Pirates. Sorry, Pittsburgh fans, we're picking on you here, as they sent us Lolo Sanchez for a couple of young prospects. With this roster space, we were able to bring in 20-year-old Reggie Rossi to compete for the center field starting spot, and we brought in Reed Hoffman at center, be a solid 21-year-old minor league prospect. I thought about signing Jerickson Profar back to Oakland as a veteran, but he was pricing us out as he didn't want to sign for a 1-year deal. So we bailed, and instead it was Thomas Rodriguez for left field at 23 years of age and just the right price. Other minor league signings included left fielder Jarvis King, third baseman Sherton Apostle, second baseman Cesar Fernandez, first baseman Daniel Gonzalez, and our favorite finding out of Venezuela. Thank you, Billy Bean, for your scouting, closer Damon Stahl. The team would have a 10-17 record in spring training, which is a little bit better than I truly thought that they would do. And there was, of course, a lot of bad play. There were some bright spots. James Kaprelian pitched pretty well. Jerad Eickhoff did okay. Zach Jackson was wonderful. Kyle Muller showed out in spring training. Jose Alvarez was everything we wanted when we signed him, and Hogan Harris and Luis Medina pitched pretty well for young guys. The infield starters were unquestionable, as Gary Sanchez showed out in his little at-bats. Seth Brown is our best first baseman by far. Tony Kemp had no competition at second, and he would likely have killed it anyway. Jace Peterson was the best third baseman we had, and at short, it was close. But Diaz, with 3 spring training bombs, he's our man. In the outfield, though, it was rough, but we likely will give JJ Bleday more of a chance in the future. I think Pache barely won the center field job. And at right field, it was Connor Capel, impressing, with Ramon Laureano being cold as ice. When the lineups were finally posted, it looked like this. Rossi at DH in the leadoff spot with the speed and contact, Kemp at second, Brown at first, Sanchez catching, Diaz at short, Laureano on a short leash at right, Peterson at third, Bleday in left, and Pache in center field. Against lefties, we made some flips to allow Leo Farrell, Manny Pena, and Brent Rooker to get a little bit of playing time. Pitching rotation would see Jerad Eickhoff as the opening day starter, followed by Kaprelian, Muller, Fujinami, and Harris. In the pen, Steckenrider and Britton will likely both do some closing duties, with Jackson setting up. Alvarez, Acevedo, and Familia will all be in mid-relief, and all the roster moves made have opened up $61 million in available budget, so we could even spend $11 million should somebody that we really like become available, but it'd be a miracle that we'd be even in that position to do so. The final piece of tidying up is this team's scouting. It's going to be very important, and I want the most efficient good scouts that I can get for the money, so we would make a quick firing and hiring to shore up our 3-scout team that Billy Beane will lead. Ready for opening day? Welcome everybody to opening day baseball here at the Oakland Coliseum with the Los Angeles Angels taking on the Oakland A's. And the A's season projections do not look great, as their highest projected average is to be 242 by Jesus Aguilar. Seth Brown looks like they're projecting a solid season for him, and Tony Kemp for the best WAR. Taking the mound today for your Oakland A's, it is Jerad Eickhoff, who had 1 start last year at a 20.77 ERA. It was not good for him, and we'll see if he can get off to a better start today against David Fletcher. It's a ground ball down to third, and Peterson makes the throw on to first for out number 1. Gio Urshela up at the plate, and he is going to get a foul ball into third base foul territory for Peterson to make the play. Mike Trout, the ever-dangerous Mike Trout, will go down swinging, and that will get Eickhoff through the first inning, and Shohei Ohtani will take them out. A 15-9 record last year, 2.33 ERA as a pitcher, not to mention all the home runs this man can hit. Reggie Rossi, the leadoff hitter, is going to hit this one out to right center field, and it is the second baseman ranging all the way back to make the play. Tony Kemp gets a grounder down to second base, and that is a routine play for out number 2. That brings us to Seth Brown, and he will strike out to end the first inning as both of these pitchers mowing down the top of the order. Here's Eickhoff against Ohtani, and he gets him to swing on the 82-mile-an-hour slider for his second strikeout. That brings up Hunter Renfroe, who goes down looking. You just can't do that. That'll bring up Taylor Ward, and Ward is going to hit this one out to deep left center field. JJ Bleday will range over and make the catch, and we are going to the bottom of the second. Gary Sanchez, and appeal. It is an out. Big strikeout call. Gary Sanchez goes down. Ohtani starting his day off right. He gets Diaz swinging, and that's a pass ball. Needs to be thrown on to first. It is not done. So it's a strikeout, but throw on to first. So we got an error and a base runner. Ramon Laureano going to hit this one over to short. That one landing in front and going for the double play. They're not going to be able to do it. Laureano will reach safely. And now Jace Peterson up at the plate. He's going to draw a walk. That's 2 on, 2 out for the Oakland A's. Can they start a little trouble here in the bottom of the second? JJ Bleday is going to hit this one, but wow, what a rangy play for shortstop. Jared Walsh comes up, and he will swing and miss to start the top of the third. Fourth strikeout of the day for Eickhoff. Anthony Rendon goes down swinging as well, make it 5 for Eickhoff on the day. Jerad Eickhoff showing out. Let's see what he does with Stassi. Gets him to strike out as well, striking out the side for Jerad Eickhoff. That'll bring up Christian Pache, who will strike out on the slider away. 85 miles an hour from Ohtani for his fourth strikeout. Brings up Reggie Rossi. He's got this one down the first base line, easily caught. Right into the glove. Here's Tony Kemp. That's down the first baseman. And that is going to be a single instead for Tony Kemp. Here's Seth Brown up at the plate. This one is shallow in center field. Easy routine catch, and that'll do it and get us through 3 innings. Scoreless on opening day. We'll be back. We are back, and it is Eickhoff with the swing and a miss from David Fletcher. 7 strikeouts. Big, strong innings for Jerad Eickhoff. Here's Gio Urshela, and they say he did not check swing. That's another strikeout. That brings up Mike Trout, and Trout is going to hit this one out to right field, and it is Laureano who will make the catch. Get through the top of the fourth for Gary Sanchez to come up and swing through another one of those famous Shohei sliders. Here's Almedas Diaz, and he is going to go down swinging. Another one of those pass ball situations, but this time LA will complete it. Here's Laureano up at the plate, and this one is swung on another pass ball. Stassi having some trouble behind the plate, but he makes this throw as well. We're through 4. Shohei up at the plate, and he goes down on the curveball. Little trouble with the curve for the MVP. And here's Hunter Renfroe. This is a dribbler onto Almedas Diaz. He is going to throw this one on to first, and that's an easy play for out number 2. Taylor Ward up at the dish, and this one is in shallow center, and Christian Pache doing the one thing he is good at, playing a little defense as we're through the middle of the 5th. Here's Jace Peterson up at the bag, and this one is going to go into foul territory, drifting, and it is caught. Out in foul territory for out number 1. J.J. Bleday goes down swinging. Looked like a wonderful pitch from Ohtani. Could have been cracked out of the park. Here's Pache. He's going to get it looked like it would have been a base hit, but that one is thrown to first, and it is a base hit as they couldn't get him. That is one thing about Pache's game. He's got the speed, as Rossi will take this one to center, and that will be the final out of the 5th. Here's Jared Walsh up at the dish. He goes down swinging. Jared Walsh 0 for 2 on the day, and that's 10 strikeouts for Eickhoff. Here's Anthony Rendon. He's going to put this one into shallow left, and Bleday, long run, but he comes and makes the catch. Max Stassi having some trouble behind the plate and trouble at the plate as he goes down swinging. We're through the middle of the 6th. Here's Tony Kemp up at the dish, and this one is hit out to right field. It is pretty deep, not quite the warning track, and that is out number 1. Ohtani and Eickhoff in a real pitcher's duel. Seth Brown's going to go down swinging on the slider inside. That Shohei slider's been killing it. He's got 9 strikeouts. Gary Sanchez takes this one out to left field, and that one is caught. Center fielder ranging over. Mike Trout, nice play. We're through 6. David Fletcher up at the plate, and this one is hit over at Diaz, lined right into his glove. That'll bring up Gio Urshela, and that one's also at Diaz. This one on the ground, and Diaz will make the throw, but no, Seth Brown drops it, and Urshela reaches on an error. That'll bring up Mike Trout, and Laureano gets a late start here, and that one's going to drop in front of him. The first hit of the ball game. And there's Eickhoff striking out Shohei Ohtani, freezing him for his 12th strikeout. Bringing up Hunter Renfroe, who hits this one into shallow left field, pop fly. J.J. Bleday makes the catch, but the no-no and the perfect game are both gone in the same inning. That'll bring up Almedas Diaz down the third base line, and that is a single here in the bottom of the 7th, a leadoff single. For Almedas Diaz, that's going to be it for Shohei. They bring in Jose Quijada, who had an 0-5 record last year. Not that that means a lot for relievers, but he will face Ramon Laureano first, and this one is hit to center field, and that is out number 1. on the routine fly ball. That'll bring up Jace Peterson, and Peterson with this one down to first baseline. This one's a potential double play ball, and it will not be as Peterson reaches safely at first, so a fielder's choice. JJ Bleday gets really good wood on this one. This one is back all the way in center field and over the wall as Trout could not bring it back. A home run for JJ Bleday. And remember when I said wins and losses don't mean a lot for relievers? Well, our boy Jose Quijada here is in trouble. He is on the hook for the loss with a JJ Bleday bomb. And that'll bring up Christian Pache, and Pache is going to take this one out to right field, and that one is caught. What a play to end the 7th. So Zach Jackson will be the one coming to the mound. He had a 2-3 record with a 3 ERA and a 127 whip last season. So we'll see if he can continue to grow as a player. Taylor Ward, ooh, that is a perfectly placed fastball by Zach Jackson. Now Jared Walsh, and he's going to dribble this one on to Kemp, and Kemp will make that play for out number 2. That'll bring up Anthony Rendon, and he goes down swinging. That signing for Rendon just has not worked out for the Angels. Jamie Barria will be coming in. A 3-3 record last year, a 2.61 ERA, and a 103 whip. That is incredible numbers. We'll see if he can get the job done here and keep the Angels in this one. Reggie Rossi down the line at first, and that is caught for the first out. Tony Kemp coming up to the bag, and this one is a fly ball out in right field, and that is caught easily for out number 2. Seth Brown, last hope of this inning, and he's going to go ahead and take a walk, so he is not the last hope. He reaches base safely. That'll bring up Gary Sanchez, and Sanchez hits this one down the line in left field. That one gets all the way into the corner. Sanchez is going to get himself a double, and that is 2 runners in scoring position for Almedas Diaz, who actually gets really nice wood on this ball, but it is caught out in left field, and that'll end the 8th. Last chance for the Angels. It'll be Drew Steckenrider in this one. 5.65 ERA last year and a 181 whip. We'll see if he can do better this time. Trying to close this ball game out for the A's. Max Stassi goes down swinging. Can't get the job done. And now David Fletcher goes down looking on the circle change. 2 straight strikeouts for Steckenrider. Crowd's going crazy. We can't believe there's this many people here for Gio Urshela to hit it to center, and Pache puts the ball game away as the Oakland Athletics will come away with an opening day victory against Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, proving ever more that that's really all the Angels have. It's not like they played horribly. Ohtani pitched quite well. A 2-0 win for the Oakland A's. Eickhoff with the win, Quijada with the loss, and we will go to the second game of this series, as it is James Kaprielian on the mound. A 5-9 record last year with a 4.23 ERA and a 134 whip. 98 strikeouts on 56 walks. We'll see what he can do here against Tyler Anderson, who had 28 starts last year to a 15-5 record. That's really good. 2.57 ERA and a 1 whip. He pitched incredibly well last season. We'll see what he can do this season against us. Mike Trout up in the top of the first, and he gets this one all the way into the corner. Rooker over there to try to make the play, but unfortunately Rooker with a little bit of trouble deciding where he wants to throw, and instead it'll be an Angels run as Mike Trout drives in the first run of the year for the Angels. Shohei Ohtani now in the top of the 6th. Pache, a little bit of trouble getting there, and Ohtani is going to find his way to dig into third with a triple. And there you go, Trout and Ohtani. We said that's all they got. Is it really all they got? As Hunter Renfroe is here to help them. Laureano makes the catch, and that is going to be a tag-up score for Shohei Ohtani. In the bottom of the 7th, there's Manny Pena, and he has hit a bomb. So the first 2 bombs for the Oakland A's coming from JJ Bleday and Manny Pena Colada. Holy Toledo, as the Oakland Athletics at least cut this lead in half, 2-1. We'll see if Pena's home run can really help out the A's. Here's Taylor Ward up at the plate, and Acevedo gets him, and that gets through the middle of the 8th inning. Still 2-1. Acevedo comes in. A pressure cooking situation does his job. Here comes Aaron Loop in. 0-5 record last year, 3.84 ERA, and he is in the bottom of the 8th against Seth Brown, leading off this 8th inning, and that one is deep. That one's deep to right field and over the wall as Seth Brown has tied this ball game up for Oakland. Holy Toledo. Seth Brown, 365 over the right field wall, and we are tied at 2. Gary Sanchez up in the bottom of the 9th with one away, and he laces it into center field. That one will fall in off of Jaime Barria in the bottom of the 9th. So maybe a rally upcoming for the A's. Manny Pina Colada hit a homer, and now he's got a single, as that'll put 2 on with 1 away. Rally caps are on for Ramon Laureano, who has just been cold to start this season, and that one's going to get caught by Trout. No tag-up attempt coming from slow Gary Sanchez. That'll bring up Brent Rooker, who's going to draw a walk. What an at-bat from Rooker. That'll leave them loaded. And that is going to bring up Seth Brown, who has a home run already, but he takes strike 3 on the fastball. We're going into extra innings. We'll be right back. Into extra innings, Mike Trout up the plate, and he swings and misses. And that is quite a pitching performance from Acevedo. That'll bring up Christian Pache here in the bottom of the 10th with the extra runner on, and that'll be a tag up over to third base. And the A's are set up here. Jace Peterson up at the plate, and he laces this one into right. He knows he's done it. It is all the way to the wall, and Seth Brown will be the one who scores as the Oakland Athletics come back and win in extra innings 3-2 against the Los Angeles Trout Ohtanis, because it has been all they have, and we've proven that here to start the season. After 2 exhilarating wins, it's time to set our scouts on the road. First, we choose our focus, and being that the outfield was so shoddy in spring training, we're going to focus on that first. Now, that doesn't mean we can't go in other directions later, but our infielders played well enough, and we can only take care of one thing at a time. For assignments, we're going to take our worst scout, Carson Burton, and we're going to send him to discover us more outfielders, since that's what he is best at. Then our other 2 scouts, Super Scout Anthony Bullock and our middle scout Cy Harmon, we're going to send them to scout left and center fielders, and that'll keep everybody here in the West region before we start branching out across the country and maybe even internationally. Back to Oakland Coliseum we go, as the Oakland A's look to close out this series with a sweep. Now you can see their offense hasn't been great, but their pitching on point. Only 2 earned runs with a .215 batting average. So we'll see if they can close this series out with a sweep after winning 2-0 and 3-2 in extras in the first couple of games of the series. Starting pitcher for the Oakland A's will be Kyle Muller, and this is a guy that they are hoping will be a very good prospect for them and really be a nice young pitcher. But it hasn't happened for him yet in the majors, and he's got some work to do. We'll try to do that work against Brandon Drury in the top of the first inning, and Drury gets this one to fall in front of Pache, and that is going to bring the first run of the ball game home. Now Hunter Renfroe at the plate. He takes a walk, and in the top of the first, it's just not going well for Kyle Muller, as Luis Rengifo comes up, and he hits this one deep to left field. Rooker is ranging back. He's going to the wall. He's jumping. He can't get it. It is gone as Luis Rengifo has hit a grand salami. How about a salami sandwich for Rengifo, as he has extended this Los Angeles Angels lead. Now Leo Farrell at the plate in the bottom of the 5th with 2 on. He had runners on the corners. He brings 1 home on the 3-2 pitch, and that'll make it 6-3 for Gary Sanchez. He goes right back to the pitcher, and that's going to be one of the most embarrassing double plays you can hit into. So to the bottom of the 9th, and Matt Moore looking to close it out. He gets Brent Rooker swinging. He gets Seth Brown swinging on the snuckle curve away. That's a tough pitch. Then Christian Pache's gonna take the fastball down the middle. I swear he is one of the worst hitters in the organization. We hope that we can make Pache into a much better player, but it's okay because the Oakland A's win the series 2-1. That's the opening series, everybody. Let me know what you think of this team in the comments section. Shout out to all of our channel members who keep this channel going. I appreciate all of you guys. I hope you're excited for some more A's franchise. Watch some other series here if you're into this A's franchise, as we had some really great series along the way. I'll see you for the next one.